Hello everyone. This is the second lecture in the series of 3 lectures for acceptance sampling. The topics should be covered in this session are what is acceptance sampling or what is an acceptance plan, types of sampling plans, sampling errors, what is operating characteristic curve and construction of operating characteristic curve. What is an acceptance plan? It is a set of procedures for inspecting incoming material or finished goods. What does it does? What it identifies the type of sample, the sample size, and the criteria to accept or the reject the lot. That is acceptance number C, sample size N. It is it will also consider producers and consumers risk. So for that purpose, the producer and consumer must have a common understanding of the associated risk. Types of sampling plans: single sampling, double sampling, and multiple sampling. So let us see these plans. Single sampling plan, it goes like this. Inspect a sample of n pieces. Let D be the total number of defectives in that sample. If D is less than or equal to C, C is the acceptance number. If D is less than or equal to C, accept the lot. Else, if D is greater than C, reject the lot. So this is a single sampling plan. Now what are the sampling errors? Sampling is definitely associated with probability, and probability means it is a chance phenomena, and errors are there or risk are associated with these things. Type 1 error is also called as alpha error or producer's risk. It occurs when, according to the sample, lot consists of bad products or the process is out of control, but the opposite is true. What does it mean? The sample which you are going to inspect, it consists of good components. So based on that sample, you decide of accepting the lot. But if you measure or inspect remaining components from the lot, they turn out to be bad components. So accordingly, it should have been rejected, but it is accepted. So that is actually I am talking about second type of error, that is consumer's risk. In the first type of error, the sample which you are inspecting consists of bad components, but actually the remaining components from that lot are good components, but based on the sample you decide to reject the lot. It means that you are rejecting good lot based on the sample. So it is a wrong decision, or it is called as a producer's risk. Then who will have to suffer? The producer of those components will have to suffer because his lot has been rejected. So actually it is the probability of rejecting good products. So this is type 1 error or alpha error or producer's risk. Then you have second type of error which is called as type 2 error, beta error or consumer's risk. So what does it mean? It occurs when, according to the sample, lot consists of good products or the process is under control, but opposite is true. So actually it is the probability of accepting bad products. So who is going to suffer in this case? it is the consumer who is going to suffer. So it is called as consumer's risk, and this error is also called as beta error. So it has been prepared, these types of this risk has been highlighted in this diagram. Decision to reject and decision to accept, and actual truth, good lot, bad lot. Now let us say, take the first case. Actual truth is good lot, but decision is to reject the lot based on the sample. So this is error is type 1 error. Then you take this scenario, the decision is to accept the lot, decision is accept the lot, and truth is good lot, so no error here. Then you take this thing, second thing, decision is to reject the lot and the truth is bad lot, so no error. Then decision is to accept the lot and truth is bad lot, so it is the error, and this is a type 2 error. Now what is operating characteristics curve? Curves that illustrate graphically the probability of accepting lots that contain different percent defective. It shows how well a sampling plan discriminates good and bad lots. You take the case of 100% inspection, and in this case the OC curve is ideal OC curve. Let us see that what is happening here. Your acceptance criteria is here, that is 1% defective, 1% defective, or fraction defective is 1%, and anything before this or anything below 1% of fraction defective is accepted, anything beyond this is not accepted, it has to be rejected. Now you take this case, there is a 0% defective, so it goes on this way, 100% probability of acceptance, so probability of acceptance is 1. Then till 0.01 or 1% defective, all other lots are accepted 100%. Okay, and once you attain this fraction defective, which is the limiting one, what is happening? Suddenly it is coming down, so 0% probability of acceptance at the acceptance number or limiting lot fraction defective. And anything beyond this, what is the probability? 0. So this is actually vertical line only, and this is actually this way, vertical line. This is ideal OC curve. It is possible only in 100% inspection, that too any without any inspection error. Okay, the inspection is not consisting of any error of instrument as well as the human error during inspection. So this is actually ideal case. Even though you do 100% inspection, there are chances that the errors during those inspections will creep into the method, and you will not get 100% correct inspection. Although you are physically doing 100% inspection, actually it will consist of some errors. There is a probability of some errors during the process because it is a probabilistic thing. So this is only ideal thing. This is what is desirable, but practicably it is not practicable, or practically it is not feasible, because everything the producer will produce, even if he is producing slightly more fraction defective, then what is happening? It is whole of this lot is getting rejected. Now this is the OC curve for this sampling inspection. This is what is the practical situation. It is like this. On the y-axis you have probability of acceptance. On the x-axis you have lot fraction defective. Now AQL, this is AQL is acceptable quality level. This is what the consumer or the purchaser definitely thinks acceptable. So anything up to this, including this, is acceptable to the consumer. You can see that what is the probability of this acceptance of this AQL. It is this one, 1 minus alpha. It is not 100%, so it is slightly less than that. So this much reason is called as producer's risk. Why? Because even though the quality of the components produced by the producer is acceptable, he has a chance of only 1 minus alpha percent acceptance. It is not only it is not 100% acceptance. Means there are some lots. Suppose he is producing this alpha is say is 5%. So this 1 minus alpha will be 95%. So there are chances that 100 from 100 lots of acceptable quality, only 95 would be accepted, 5 lots would be rejected because of this probabilistic curve. So this alpha is actually percentage. It is decided unanimously by the producer as well as consumer together. And this is one of the important parameters for the OC curve. So 1 minus alpha is the producer's risk. And then you have this second thing, this is IQL or indifferent quality level. Here, I mean the consumer is okay. He is not rejecting also, and he is not 100% accepting also. So this is around 50% probabilistic acceptance for this quality, or lot fraction defective is IQL. For that, the probability of acceptance is 50% usually. And then you have the third point on the x-axis, that is RQL. It is called as rejectable quality level. It is also called as LTPD. It is also called as LTPD or lot tolerance percent defective. It is actually rejectable quality level, or LTPD means anything of this quality is not at all acceptable to the consumer or to the customer, and it has to be rejected 100%, but still he is going to accept this by beta percentage. Beta is actually called as consumer's risk. Beta is called as consumer's risk. So the probability of acceptance of this rejectable quality is beta, and that is say usually it is 10%. So even though the lots produced by the producer, they have this quality which is the limiting one, and it should be rejected, still the customer is going to agree to accept these many percentages in the lots. So this is actually called as consumer's risk. So this is important parameter for this OC curve, and this curve is giving you the representation of probability of acceptance for a particular fraction defective. It is usually of 3 types. Either it is a hypergeometric distribution, or it is a binomial distribution, or it is a Poisson distribution. So based on the nature of the data, any of these 3 can be there. Again a second diagram just to explain this thing only. You can see that this is 1 minus alpha. This region is this type 1 error, or called as the producer's risk, and this is actually IQL, indifferent quality level, and this is RQL or rejectable quality level. This is also called as lot tolerance percent defective, or LTPD. Probability distributions for plotting the OC curve. Three types of probability distributions we are using depending upon the case. First is the hypergeometric distribution, or it is also called as type A distribution or type A curve. This is basically true basic distribution for attribute data used for small lot sizes and isolated lots. The probability of exactly x defective parts in a sample of n is given by probability exactly x defective is equal to ncx n minus small n c small n minus x divided by ncn. Second type, binomial distribution. This is a type B OC curve. This is used for large lot sizes and continuous lots. The probability of exactly x defective parts in a sample n, here the lot size is big, okay, it is not limited. So here lot size is not considered in the calculation of the probability, whereas in the first case, hypergeometric distribution, you can see that the lot size is important. N, capital N is involved in the calculation of the probability of acceptance. In the binomial distribution, the lot size is very big or infinite. It is actually infinite. Lot size is infinite or very big. So that is actually the case of process industry, where the continuous production is coming out of the process, and although the lot size there may be in thousands or 2000s or 5000s, actually number of lots are taken from the running process. So it is as good as lot size is infinite in that case. So probability of exactly x defective parts in such a kind of process is given by binomial distribution, and that is equal to ncx into probability of x, p raised to x into bracket 1 minus p raised to n minus x. The symbol p here is actually, p represents the value of incoming quality expressed as a decimal or fraction defective. This p is actually the incoming lot quality or fraction defective. This is actually a small p. This is small p here, this small p, and this is capital P here. This is the probability, and this small p, that is a fraction defective. And the third type of distribution is Poisson distribution. The Poisson distribution is used for sampling plans involving the number of defects or defects per unit rather than the number of defective parts. See the difference here. Here it is mostly consists of the number of defects or defects per unit rather than the number of defective parts. So in such a case, for example, during the assembly of automobile, say a particular part, it has a number of defects. For example, the bearing has around 4 defects. So 4 defects per bearing, that is the case here. So it is Poisson distribution is for the number of defects per unit rather than percentage defective or fraction defective or the defective parts or defective parts. So it is also used to approximate the binomial probabilities involving the number of defective parts when the sample n is large and p, that is fraction defective, is small, using the Poisson to calculate probabilities associated with various sampling plans is relatively simple because the Poisson tables can be used. the probability of exactly x defectives or defective parts in a sample n is given by probability of x defectives is equal to e raised to np. This term np is denoted by lambda also in some of the cases, and into lambda raised to x divided by x factorial. The letter e represents the value of base of the natural logarithmic system. So in this case, n, that is the lot size, is immaterial as like binomial distribution. So this Poisson distribution can be approximately used for in case of binomial also, instead of binomial also, when sample size is large and the lot incoming lot fraction defective is small. Probability distributions for plotting OC curves. So these are explained on this figure. You can see this. This is the first curve. This is for lot size 500, fraction 50, and acceptance criteria 1, C is equal to 1. Then this is the second curve which is above this first one. This is for lot size 2000, sample size 50, acceptance criteria 1. These both are of type A. Type A means hypergeometric distribution. You can see that both are of type A. Compared to the first one, the second one, the lot size is more, okay, but they are near about same. Now you take this case, this is also true, second curve is also true for n is equal to infinity, or in this case this is a type B, that is binomial distribution is similar in this case to this hypergeometric distribution when you see that sample size and lot size, here lot size is infinite, so it is representing, it is useful to approximate the binomial distribution. So this second curve is same for both type A and type B. Type A means hypergeometric, type B means binomial. Generally, as the size of the lot increases, the lot size has a decreasing impact on the OC curve. In fact, if the lot size is at least 10 times the sample size, that is small n by capital N, is less than or equal to 0.1, the type A and type B OC curves are virtually indistinguishable. You can see this case. This is actually the OC curve for n is equal to 30 and C is equal to 1, that is sample size is 30 and acceptance number is 1 here. Lot size is infinite or very big. Now this first case is the binomial distribution and the second case is the Poisson distribution. You see they are almost same. They are almost same. Almost same. Okay. Near the tail only, this is slight different than the binomial, right? So this Poisson distribution, that's the reason why Poisson distribution can be used to approximate binomial distribution. Whenever manual calculations are done, usually it is easy to do Poisson distribution calculations than binomial, because it is easy to refer Poisson tables which are readily available for a particular sample size and acceptance number. Effect of sample size n on the OC curve. Now what is this thing happening? Just see this. As sample size is changing, what is happening to this OC curve? You can see that this is object line or a continuous OC curve. So this curve is for sample size 10, acceptance number 1. Then this is the second curve. This is for sample size 20, acceptance number 1. And this is the third curve. This is for sample size 40 and acceptance number 1. So you can see gradually sample size 10, 20, 40. As sample size goes on increasing, the curve is attaining the ideal curve. So this distinguishing power between good and bad lots for this curve is definitely more than this, and for this it is more than this. So more the sample size, better is the curve. Now you can see here in this case, this is now depicting the effect of C on OC curve, that is acceptance number on the OC curve. Now here we are not going to change the sample size. Sample size is 20 only for all the three curves. Now only the acceptance number is changing. First case, this is the object line. So this is the first case, acceptance number is 0. Here the acceptance number is 1 and here the acceptance number is 2. So what is happening? When you fix the sample size and you change the acceptance number, lesser is the acceptance number, better is the curve. It is approaching the ideal curve here. Acceptance number 0, acceptance number 1, acceptance number 2. So better is the distinguishing power of the OC curve if less is the acceptance number or C is less. Construction of operating characteristic curve. Let us see the method for construction of operating characteristic curve. Step 1, this is the manual method. Nowadays you can refer directly software packages like Excel, Minitab and many other statistical packages. They will directly do these calculations and generate these OC curves. But just to know the procedures and understand it in a better way, let us do these hand calculations by referring the table. So step 1, set up table headings and the probability of acceptance column as follows. So you have to make these 4 columns: sample size, then n into p dash. P dash is actually fraction defective. P dash is fraction defective. So NP dash, P dash and probability of acceptance. Now here in probability of acceptance, we will give the Y points 0.98, 0.95, 0.7, 0.5, 0.2, 0.05, 0.02, around 8 to 10 points we want to give, and we will find out the particular P fraction defective for this based on this probability by referring the tables. Second step, search Poisson distribution table under the given C value until the desired probability of acceptance or closest value to desired PA is located. If the exact value is not found, the value in the PA column should be changed to correspond with the one selected. So let us see this with the example. Third step, Place the NP dash value associated with the selected PA in the NP dash column. Fourth step, divide the NP dash value by n. This will give the P dash coordinate of PA for the OC curve. And fifth step, plot the OC curve from the table. Now let us understand these steps by taking one example. So the example is, draw OC curve for single sampling plan given sample size as 300 and acceptance number as 5. So let us draw this OC curve for this sampling plan. Step 1, set up the table headings and the PA column as follows. So N, NP dash, P dash and PA. Okay, and PA. Now in this case, you can see that N is given, so put in all the rows N value as 300, that is not going to change, sample size. Then in probability of acceptance, we want around 3, 4 or around 8, 10 points here. So we can divide from 0 to 1 into different points, say 0.98, 0.95, 0.7, 0.5, 0.2, 0.05, 0.02. You can add one more, 0.01 and so on. So around we want 8 to 10 points to get a smooth curve for this purpose. So here in this case, all these things are well defined. Sample size, NP dash number of defectives, P dash fraction defective, PA is the probability of acceptance. Now step 2. Search Poisson distribution table under the given C value until the desired PA or closest to the PA is located. Now what to do here? See, this is a table, Poisson distribution table. So here the columns are given like this. In this column you have NP dash here in this column and C, that is acceptance number, here. Now for our plan, given plan, the C value is 5. So under this 5, you go on referring this probability of acceptance. First probability required is 98%, or first thing is required is 0.98. So go on moving around this, so you will see that the nearest value attainable is 0.983. Okay, so this is multiplied by 1000, so actual value is 0.983. And what is the corresponding value in this column, first column? That is 2.0. What is this column mean for? NP dash. So you get the corresponding NP dash value for this 5 acceptance number and probability as 0.983. So note it down. So for 0.98, that is what we had written here, but we will not get here for exactly 0.98. The value is 0.983. So we will modify this first value. We will keep here 0.983 and the corresponding NP dash value is 2 from the table. So same way we will find out the remaining values for NP dash from the table under the column of 5, because here acceptance number is 5, and we will note this down here. Then later on we will divide these values by n and we will get fraction defective, and this is the probability of acceptance. Last step is plot a graph between this fraction defective on x-axis and probability of acceptance on y-axis, and that is nothing but the OC curve. So this is what is the OC curve. This you have supposed to do on the graph paper. So you can see here, you can refer our points and join these points with a freehand curve. Once you get all the points, you can join them using a freehand smooth curve on the graph paper. So this is the OC curve for the given sampling plan. This is how it is done manually. There are few other methods also using nomogram that we are not going to discuss. We will restrict our discussion to one only, to one of these manual methods only, and we'll move ahead. This is actually the end of part 2. Remaining discussion about acceptance sampling we will do in the part 3 of this series.